So because the process of Bhakti Yoga is a simple and easy process. The next point to note is that because it is an easy process, anyone and everyone may tend to touch it at some time or the other. Because it is an easy process, anyone and everyone can tag himself as a devotee because it's an easy process. It's simple and easy. So here Tilak Om Kitwai Nama, you become devotee. So here a 30 rupees consumer, I become a devotee. It's an easy process. It's easy to perform. So because it is easy to perform, it's very easy to touch it. And it's very easy to tag it or get tagged by it or get tagged in it. It's an easy process. So the interesting point is that Krishna is therefore talking about the aspect of constant engagement. So to tag oneself as a devotee is very easy. To uphold is the main point. Get to hear about it, to read about it once is easy. So we may have read the Prabhupada books, say for example, small book, medium book, Bhagavad Gita. Some may have read the first canto, second canto, some canto, like that. And then they say, okay, at some point of time, one may read also Bhagavatam. Okay, I finished Gita, I finished small books, I finished medium books, I finished Bhagavatam. Now the thing is now what they do. So Bhakti is not the process of a one-shot affair. Like say for example, I remember, Bhakti is not about the one-shot affair. Like say I remember that the time when the book Journey Home came, Radhanath Maharaj. So then there was a lot of excitement to read it. And it was some Western edition. It was very costly, 2,000, 3,000 rupees. And for me, to 2,000, 3,000, that makes it possible. I can never purchase. So one devotee had purchased. So he had given me 2 days to read it. And I had company both the days. I was working. So I did sleep the whole night. 2 days I finished. Like that. I just came 7, 8 o'clock to Prasad, 8, 8:30 I sat. Just read till 4 o'clock in the morning. Again in morning yoga. Went to the company. Again came back, did another night out, finished. It was the journey home, like that. The journey home. There was a lot of hype and excitement about the journey home, the revelations about. There's some feelings of their spiritual masters, life and all that, but I believe a lot of excitement was there because it was very novelistic as well, like that. And yes, wanted to learn about some lessons, practical lessons. You can learn from lives of Acharya. That kind of excitement was there, like that. So, and Obviously, the excitement may not be completely spiritual excitement also, because the excitement of reading a novel or clinging onto a novel where emotions are getting up, down, here, there. Then at best it was a mix. What I can say that so some this, some that, and some conditions so mix like that. So that was the point. So doing this kind of a one-shot performance is very easy. That's not automatically so good. That's the point. So although I read it all, but if you ask me to list out, you will please tell, okay, how many principles Maharaj had in the whole book? Where all, what all? I will not be able to give a very, be able to quote 4 or 5 incidents, draw some lessons out of that. But may not be able to catch out everything. So that means sincerity will lie with a person who might have read this book 20 times. You know the point? There's a difference. So although the first one appears very heroic, this is called a style, like that. This is like, but one who is soaked himself, only such a person is qualified to attract the mercy of the Lord. That's the point we have to understand. So because it's an easy, therefore, one-off anybody can do. So we don't have to remain satisfied with one-off. Therefore, we see, there are hundreds of devotees all around India who learn how to give DYs. But there are only a few handfuls who keep continuing to give DYs. There are hundreds of devotees who do Bhakti Sastri. There are only very few who keep speaking about it, keep teaching others about it. So the lesson is how much we soak ourselves. That is the point. How much we soak ourselves. So it's not about that, okay, I have read Lilamrit. Lilamrit पढ़ लिया. कैसे पढ़ा? सोने से पहले पढ़ा था. Like that. But then कब पढ़ा था? Wait a second. क्या पढ़ा था? प्रभु ने बहुत संघर्ष किया. तो फिर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? So the point is that so the Prophet said 4 books are sufficient. 4 books are sufficient. Prophet said that. Yes, when we read other books, no problem. That is fine. Go deep when we read other books and even other proper books. But as the Prophet said 4 books. I don't know. Bhakti Sastri 4 books. Bhakti Sastri 4 books each time. Nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. There are small books again. Very bad. Yes. No, I did Bhagavatam, Lila, Bhagavatam, CC, and nectar of devotion. I think it's other. So you may have to cross confirm, but my understanding, I think, is the other four. So it's Gita, Bhagavatam, CC, and 4 books or something. So this is the point we have to understand. To soak ourselves. So not be just satisfied with just a touch, okay, there was a time, there was a very golden time in my life, I used to run around for Krishna. You can do that now also. What is the problem? Why should we not run around for Krishna throughout life? Because in the spiritual world, for eternity, one has to run around for Krishna. So we cannot run around for a lifetime. How will we run around for eternity? The residents of the spiritual world will have a doubt. Shahid, yeah, he's a one-time, one-off candidate. And material world is a very good place for one-off candidates to show their one-off traits again. Like, but spiritual world is meant for constant drillers. That's what we can understand. Therefore, this is the lesson which we should take. So now the next question is coming. Prabhupada is comparing the other processes of yoga with Bhakti. So therefore, the point which comes is here is this. And Prabhupada said Bhakti Yoga is easiest. It's most sublime actually. It's the most recommended. So now, what is the problem with other processes? If you see, the other processes are, in one sense, one-off processes. It's like Ashtanga Yoga, say for example. You are just qualifying, one degree after another finish. Yama Niyama to get warm up, asana, and all that. Pranayama, Pratyahar, Pratyahar, you get intensity, you get the punch, then Dhyan, 12 seconds, 12 into 12, 12 into 12 into 12, finished. And the Paramatma is there. And then you say, see. So in fact, in other processes also, then Prabhupada explains here that unless Bhakti is added, it doesn't move forward. Because when it comes to, because unless one comes to the stage of constant reciprocation, there is no tangible advancement which is taking place. So that is the point actually, which we have to understand. The next aspect about the comparison of Bhakti Yoga with other yogas is that, so one difference we are prominently seeing in many other yoga systems is a one-off affair. You are a Jnani, if you have come up with a philosophy, no other Jnani has come, you are a famous Jnani. Then your philosophy will be in the set of philosophies. What is that called? So your philosophy of life, famous philosophy, come up with that kind of philosophy. So then that means you become a solid Jnani. But it's all one-off actually. It's all one-off. Bhakti is not one-off. Bhakti is a constant phenomenon. And the reason why Bhakti is a constant phenomenon is because, and the reason why other yoga systems are a one-off phenomenon is that other yoga system person is walking on his own strength. And therefore a person feels that, okay, I made it to the spiritual world. The other paths are like that. The path of Ashtanga, the path of Dhyana, the path of Yogi. So one is running after chakra system, then one is thinking of achievements. Okay, I have achieved all this. I did it. I can control my senses. Like that, on my own strength. So the other paths are very much like that. Because one is moving on his own strength. That is the reason other path is so slow. Because one is not giving that self-attachment up. And therefore one makes a resume and then one feels that okay, this resume is sufficient. Now I should get the job. Again. The offer letter should come. Again. Visa should come. It was good enough resume. Now in Bhakti actually, why the constant process? Because a devotee understands that all I can do is constantly pray. But it is up to the sweet will of the Supreme Lord. So all I can do is simply pray and pray and pray. Let me pray all the time. Why only pray with words? Let my thoughts, my words, my deeds all offer that prayer. In that way, I can offer complete Sharanagati to the Supreme Lord. And therefore, because a devotee understands that there is no achievement matrix, therefore a devotee, he doesn't have an understanding of, or he doesn't have, there is no question of any understanding of, okay, how much is good enough. Therefore, there is no achievement to it. So, what is achievement here? Because if you have some matrix of what is supposed to be done, what is the accomplishment, then you can have a sense of achievement. That I am progressing, I am here, I am there. But in Bhakti, there is no such concept because everything is based on the mercy of the Lord. And therefore, a devotee wants to be constantly engaged. Because he wants to offer prayers to Krishna all the time. So that one day Krishna can be merciful. So in this way, Bhakti requires that kind of purity. That one is, okay, initially one may be, little bit, when one takes to Bhakti, then one has this Mishran. And one may be feeling that, okay, I have taken to Bhakti, but my anartha should subside, and our heart should be really peaceful, mind should be really peaceful. If not material desire satiation from the power of Bhakti, at least one may feel that, okay, let me be a little more calm in my desires, that. Let me able to see something, some anartha has gone down a bit. Something, some good traits are coming in the heart, some divine traits, more goodness and all that. Some attraction is coming. But as one goes, one is not even putting a time qualifier. वही exam में pass करना ही. But one just wants to be engaged. One just wants to go on serving. So this is the next difference between Bhakti and the other processes. Therefore, Bhakti is going to be very powerful because it is so pure. All qualifiers are washed out. One gives up all possible kinds of qualifiers. And therefore, so when you give up all qualifiers, then what are you going to do? It's going to be all the time discrepancy. And this way one soaks himself. And when one soaks himself, it attracts the mercy of the Lord. And when the Lord intervenes, it becomes release. Emancipation becomes release. Text 15. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramagati. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Since this temporary material world is full of the miseries of birth, old age, disease, death, naturally he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in the Vedic literature as Avyakta and Akshara and Paramagati. In other words, that planet is beyond our material vision and it is inexplicable. But it is the highest goal, the destination of the Mahatmas, the great souls. The Mahatmas receive transcendental messages from the realized devotees and thus gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness and become so absorbed in the transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any of the material planets, nor do they even want to be transferred to any spiritual planet. They only want Krishna and Krishna's association and nothing else. That is the highest perfection of life. This verse specifically mentions the personalist devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna. These devotees in Krishna consciousness achieve the highest perfection of life. In other words, they are the supreme souls. So here the Lord is explaining so beautifully that when one comes to Krishna in this way, with a heart full of bhakti, then one will never return back. There will be no itch the next time. This is not necessarily true for practitioner of any other path. Because of their incomplete sharanagati. So if one has a vision of accomplishments, then one will not be satisfied at any position. And given a position, one will look out for the next point, that all this is okay and good, but what next? What next? So that's what happens, and that's why Aru Yapiche Namaram Patantiyaru Sman Angre. So one attains that Brahma Jyoti, and then one is very happy that okay, I have merged and I am floating in Brahma Jyoti. It's like people go to some seashores, some, and then they chill out floating. So But then after some time, the question is not what next. How long one can float? So Padanti, for want of activity, such people they fall down from the Brahma. So therefore, we have to understand that Bhakti, one has to purify one's attitude. Therefore, the Lord is explaining. The Lord speaks this warning very, the Lord explains this that okay, being a Arthavardarthi, Vidyasu, Yani, one may come to Krishna, that's all okay, but to remain in Krishna, one has to purify his attitudes and motivations. Then he may cling on. Otherwise, one is distressed and took shelter of Krishna, one is okay, then he will say, okay, let me go back. Like people go to hospital not to stay there. People don't go to hospital, to make a basera there. The person feels that okay, I am ill, I went to hospital, he got cured, he packs up his pottery and he goes off. He says, okay, tata, okay, and as long as I am healthy, I am not going to come back again. But when I am ill again, I look at you, call it, so give your number, That's what the hospital attitude. So the spiritual world or Krishna's touch is not like that. That okay, when one is, so the attitude is focused and revolving around the self, self-deliverance, like that. Then what may happen is that one may be in this what next disease. The state of consciousness, what next? This much I am able to do, now what next? Now what next? That is the idea. Just like Pururupa Maharaj. He obtained Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu asked him, okay, you have come to me, wonderful, great achievement, congratulations. And the Lord Vishnu is asking him, what next? He said, Urvashi. Lord said, okay. Do you see the point? After obtaining Lord Vishnu, what next? What next remains? Right. When Narsimha is offering Prahlad Maharaj, you take anything, whatever you want. I want to give you. Narsimha is telling, I want to give you, you better ask. And Prahlad Maharaj is telling, thank you very much. And Lord Narsimha is asking, Lord Narsimha is telling, this attitude is most pleasing to me, I have to give you. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, no. That's okay. I'm not a businessman. Do you think I'm a businessman? Okay. And the Lord is most pleased with that kind of attitude. So the point is, this is, now when Prahlad Maharaj is seeing Lord Narsimha there, then Narsimha is offering and rather is forcing. And Prahlad Maharaj is not offering anything. And the Lord is so much forcing, Prahlad Maharaj is asking spiritual desires. Same way, please give me life after life, association of devotees. Please kill the material desires in my heart, from my heart. And my father, okay, this fellow, okay, please forgive him. So Prahlad Maharaj didn't ask anything for himself. What he is asking is just being engaged in service. That's it. just wants to serve and serve and serve. So Prahlad Maharaj is not asking anything. Whereas Kuruva Maharaj asked Urvashi. The reason is Prahlad Maharaj was approaching Krishna with the right attitude. Dhruva Maharaj's profile was middleweight. You know? So you see Dhruva Maharaj, in Dhruva pastime also, you see, Dhruva Maharaj is, Dhruva Maharaj wants a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. Again, Dhruva Maharaj was having a very strong Kshatriya vindictive attitude. Sometimes in fights, people have that kind of attitude. Many times use that jargon. तुमको तो क्या तुम्हारे बाप के पाप को दिखा देंगे. The same kind of attitude Dhruva had. तुम्हारी किंगडम तो छोड़ो, बाप के पाप की किंगडम को पछाड़ के दिखाता हूँ. What to say of you, great grandfather? So he wanted a kingdom higher than Brahma. बाप के बाप. So that was Dhruva's attitude. Now Dhruva Maharaj got purified. He got purified because he followed the instructions of Narada. Got purified because of his sincerity and dedication by the practice. He started with that and he got purified. The Lord touched him with his counsel. Because when the Lord came, Dhruva was just dumb and paralyzed in front of the Lord. He didn't know what to do. And he was a very small boy. Dhruva, the small boy, was not knowing what to speak. He had not gone to school. Prahlad Maharaj had gone to school. Chandamarth Academy. Prahlad Maharaj was already JEE qualified, everything, like that. But Dhruva had not given JEE exam. He was just playing in the lap of his father. He was so small. So you see, Prahlad Maharaj was there in the schooling. Prahlad Maharaj could speak. Obviously, the Lord blessed him. That is why he could speak Uttama Shloka. Prahlad Maharaj still was gone to school. Dhruva was nothing. But therefore, Dhruva Maharaj was not able to speak. And Lord Vishnu understood the state of his heart. The poor fellow, he doesn't even know what to speak. He's not able to frame sentences. Of glorification. He doesn't know that much. Therefore, the Lord blessed him with his knowledge. And then Dhruva Maharaj got empowered. He got empowered, so he started speaking Kanchan Vijayanath. So Dhruva Maharaj started speaking Kanchan Vijayanath and everything, very high-tech philosophy speaking. But then the Lord understood that Dhruva had come with that desire. Now it got purified. He's saying no Kanchan Vijayanath and all that, and he genuinely said. Dhruva was not faking it. But the Lord still fulfilled that. So the attitude is very important. But because Dhruva had developed pure bhakti, the Lord ensured that he will come back to spiritual world. Therefore, Dhruva Maharaj ruled for 36,000 years. Because what next after Vishnu? But the Lord used him as an instrument to be a representative of Krishna, to spread the glories of Krishna. And sure enough, Dhruva Maharaj went to God because he got purified. So the point is that we have to focus on this purification.
That Dhruva Maharaj approached the Lord with the material desire. Still he got the liberation. But when the Bhagavad Gita Lord said, yes, I am approaching me with the material desire, I will give you the material desire. The material desire will fulfill, but it will not be free. Why did Dhruva Maharaj get the result?
Yeah, because he got Dhruva Maharaj had a lot of blessings. First of all, he was approaching Vishnu directly. So that's what his mother told him. That Vishnu can give you so much love. Secondly, Dhruva Maharaj's desire was mixed. He just didn't wanted. He just did not wanted to show off to Danapat Maharaj or specifically Suruchi. He just didn't wanted to, smash the ego of Suruchi by showing a high profile. He wanted love also. You see, Dhruv Maharaj is a dual. Although on one hand he is burning in anguish, on the other hand he is very thirsty. He wants that love. And what his mother is saying, if you want love, you better go to the school. He can give you that much love which even thousands of others like me cannot give you. So that is a pure desire actually. That's a genuine, sincere desire. And Dhruv Maharaj had a mix of both. Therefore the Lord fulfilled both. He was not just approaching Krishna for the sake of Vishnu, for the sake of getting a kingdom. That was there, no doubt. That is not denied. That's a highlight platform. That was there. Anyways, it was there. But then Dhruva had a pure desire also. He wanted love. He wanted that oceanic love. What is that? He wanted to taste. He may not be knowing what does it mean, but that's what. And second, Dhruva was very determined. So because he had a mix of two and he was very determined to practice both. Now, so that means he was with great determination practicing the second half. That is the pure desire. And because by the power of it, the first one was fulfilled. So this is hope giving. So that's why Dhruva Pastor is very hope giving for a devotee. Why? Because Dhruva Pastor is explaining that if we have a sincere desire to go back to Godhead and parallelly we have material desires which are not going out of our heart so easily, then what to do? Then at least practice with great determination. By the power of that small sincere seed, the seed of a sincere genuine desire, all other contaminations are going to get washed out. Is it not amazing? This is really very interesting, very amazing aspect which is being highlighted. Very interesting. So genuine desire is what is important actually. So therefore we see that therefore we see that the devotee who has once purified his heart will not want to add impurities back in. This verse is instructive as well in another point. And the next point it is verse instructive about is that a pure devotee is so absorbed in Krishna consciousness doesn't even want to change from material world to spiritual. This goes to show that engagement and absorption in Krishna consciousness creates the spiritual world for the devotee. Entrance